Hello, Persian. Is it Persian?
Hi, Daisy.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, I am okay. I am okay. It's good to
Good,
see you.
good.
Yeah.
Hey. So, how did you find me on Facebook or LinkedIn or?
Yes, I actually found you on Facebook because I just made my reemergence to it because we used to uh do training together back at Columbus. So I was so elated to see you. And I
Girl,
tapped
oh
in, right?
my
Yeah.
God.
Because last name was Jones back then. So yeah.
Yeah, you look
Hmm.
amazing.
Thank you, darling.
Good. Good to see you. Yeah, so I was gonna wait a couple more minutes to see if a couple other people jump in. If not, I'll get started and you can ask me questions along the way.
Okay, is it just me right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'll be driving and everything, but I wanted to tap
Okay,
in, so I'll be in and out, taking my daughter to therapy.
okay. Oh my God, baby. There
Yep,
was
10
no
years
baby
old.
at Columbus.
Yes, I was right. I was a baby back then, so but now I got a 10-year-old. Yep.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God,
Yep.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow. I'm
Yeah.
sure she's beautiful as you. I'm sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. You can be off camera and all of that. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna go through everything, and as people pop in, they can jump in on wherever we are.
Alrighty, I'll be all ears.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just gonna get started. So welcome to the Legacy Wealth Blueprint. So this is how I help federal women turn experience into ownership, income, and generational wealth. So before we get into that, this is what I know about federal women. You manage millions of dollars, you do a lot of things, you lead teams that shape policy. So why don't your net worth reflect your brilliance? I know, but what I call it, I say you're really not broke, you're untranslated. So I'm here to help you translate that into how you can get income, how you can get ownership, and how you can get wealth. So, as some of you know, last year in 2025, the ground just shifted from under us. If you were active in federal work or you just watching the news, you saw Doge come in, lots of things happen, and over 300,000 federal women were impacted by the reductions. Overnight, people lost their careers, 10, 15, 20 years, no warning, no transition plan. They just lost it all. And a lot of these women, or most of these people, were high achievers. They were respected leaders, and their security was just gone. The government, the one job that we thought was going to be secure forever, just wasn't there anymore. And the question becomes, what happens when the career you trusted no longer protects you? Like, what happens to you then? Well, I think the problem is not always, I just want to get to retirement. A lot of times we think that way in the federal government. We think that way as military members. We think that way as federal employees. But it's not that. It's really that we're dependent on one system. We have great careers, strong resumes, and a lot of expertise. But a lot of times we only have one income source, one employer, one retirement strategy, one plan. And that plan depends on everything going according to plan. So we have no plan B. And that is the problem. And a lot of the people that lost their job, they look a whole lot like you and I, a whole lot. So just take, for instance, someone, I'll just call her Angela, 15, 20 years in the federal government, GS 13 or above, respected leader. And she led these teams in complex projects like I did. She was known as the person to get it done. And she had this unexpected separation. Like I said, she didn't have a business going, no offer, no clients, no other income stream. She just had a single paycheck, really kind of no ownership strategy, nothing to build wealth in case the government job leave, and it did. No plan B when that plan A ended. So how long do you think Angela maintained that lifestyle when that paycheck stopped? She couldn't, at least for not a while. And I talked to lots and lots, probably 100 federal women who were in this situation and lost their job. And a lot of them really, really had a hard time adjusting and trying to transition into something else. So we don't ever want to find ourselves in this situation again. We don't ever want to be here and have this look like this again. And freedom, what I call freedom, is not a feeling. It's actually a structure to it. Sometimes we think it's not a system to it, but there's a system to everything. And a system to having freedom and wealth is really not dependent on one employer, not living in fear of layoffs and reductions, even if we're out of federal government and we're doing something else, and not wondering if our retirement would be enough, because it never will be. How do I know? I just retired. So it's really about having real choices about how you live, building income that doesn't require your presence, and owning assets that will work while you rest. Freedom means ownership. Everything we do tonight will point back to this ownership. So a little bit about my story, and I know you know my story, Persian, but maybe I'll add some pieces to it that you
That's what
don't.
I know. That's what I know right there. That's right.
Right. So security was not the same as freedom. I worked hard, checked all the blocks. I even made it through these toxic environments that I was in, lots of things that were going on. But somewhere along the way, I had a wake up call and I realized that I was like building wealth for everybody else, the government, and not building it for myself, not building ownership for myself. And I really thought like security and job alone would create freedom for me one day. But then I came to realize I got in the right room and I realized freedom requires ownership. And once I learned this, everything changed for me. Everything shifted. And I was able to really walk into what I'm getting ready to really talk to you about. After 35, 36 years in the federal government, I was able to retire. I barely was able to get full retirement. And I know a lot of people that weren't able to do that. So I count myself lucky in that case. But it didn't have to happen that way. And I'm so glad that I had something else waiting on me. So, for those who may not know me completely, I had a business before I got into teaching other women how to create wealth for themselves. I got before all of it happened for me. So, I had a business called Born Beautiful, which I still have it, but it was a natural hair product brand. And it was one of those situations where I was in the salon, and you know, black women, we don't play about our hair. Well, it happened. I had a relaxer, weave, whatever. She cut it out, cut all of my hair out, gave me the relaxer. I woke up basically with burns and all sorts of stuff on my head. And the dermatologist said, your hair probably never gonna grow back. I thought I was gonna be bald head. I literally had to cut all my hair off. What was left? Sores in my hair, medication, on and on and on. So this was like the right around that natural hair movement. And so I just became a scientist and created my own product. And it worked for me, and people wanted to buy it. They were like, it worked for you. Give it to me, worked on your hair. And I started selling it. And as you can see, I created all these beautiful packages and etc. But the thing was, I found out I really did not understand hair, because what you see at the top, this deep conditioner and this hair growth serum, I actually developed that with a cosmetic that used to work for L'Oreal. What I realized after she did it for me is I own the use of it, but I didn't own the product. that was a big wake up call for me because I didn't understand what was going on. And then the brand was growing. I was asked to be on all these podcasts and all of this stuff or whatever. Girl, I didn't even know three hair from 4C and 5C and AC. I didn't know none of that. So I realized I really didn't understand the industry. Plus, I didn't understand how products work. I don't know if you guys know this, but basically there's a product that sits in Sally's. There's a different product of your formula that's in salons. There's a different one that goes to manufacturing. It is so crazy. And you have to continue to make this stuff by hand until you get to a certain volume that you're selling. It was killing me. So I was like, I'm out. And then I stopped doing anything because I was like, business is not for me. I stopped doing anything. And then in 2019 or 2018, somewhere around there, a friend of mine dared me to invest in this property because I kept saying, oh, I want to invest. I want rental properties. I want to do this. And she dared me to do it. And I actually did it because of the dare. And once I realized, oh my God, I can actually get rent from this. And I'm going to tell you a little later what I did to get to $1 million really fast by doing it. But I realized that I could actually own properties and then it stopped being so scary. And so this is a podcast that I was on with Tiffany where I talk about my story of how I climbed within 3 years to get to $1 million in my portfolio and then how I went further in that. So it is a matter of step by step and structure to just do it and get right into it. So and I'll be able to give you so you can download exactly how I did it. But I'm going to explain to you how I did it so you can replicate it. Anybody in here, if you want to replicate it, you can. So what a lot of us believe, and I believed it too, you want more, you think you need more certifications, more credentials, more education, more degrees, more time. You think that's going to solve it, but it's not. We are the most educated women there is. You do not need any more certifications, etc. You really just need to translate all that experience you have. You have mastery, 20, 10, 15, 20 years of doing something. It's just that the world hadn't really paid you for it yet. And so you don't need more credentials. You just need a clear offer, something you can offer to get paid. And then once you can get paid, you can move that into ownership. So let's get into it. It's really not about working harder, getting more degrees or anything like that, or even playing it safe or staying in your lane. You have to be able to say, I want what I want, and I'm going to step out and I'm going to actually do it. I'm going to do it in a safe environment, and I'm going to build wealth for myself. But one of the best things you can really realize is all that experience you have is capital. And it can equate to income. And once you have income and more income, and you have hidden income, that can increase your leverage. And so then your strategy will replace fear, and you won't fear it anymore. So I want you to just think about it for a second. In your career in the government, and you in the military, career, government, military, all of it. All of us learn leadership. All of us learn program management, how to do budgets, timelines, deliverable. All of us learn compliance, policy, training, development, strategy. All of us learn how to do those things. So if you created all those things and you managed all those things, how come the world aren't paying you for it? It's because we don't know how to translate it into an offer. Nobody teaches that part. You're not going to learn it in TAP. You're not going to learn anything associated with that. How do I know? Because I used to run TAP. You're not going to learn it in there, how to translate this into where it can get you paid. So I think there's a new opportunity by following what I've created called the Legacy Wealth Blueprint. So phase one, we're going to talk about how you translate that expertise into income. Then phase two, how you turn that income into ownership. And then phase three, how you build legacy through those assets. So when you think about it, I'll go really quick through phase one because we really want to focus on ownership. It's like, what expertise do people already ask you for? I want you to really think about that. What do coworkers, families, friends come to you for? What problems do you solve that others struggle with? You think it's easy because you don't struggle with it. And then what have you spent years mastering that feels effortless to you, but it's really hard for someone else? And what could you teach? If somebody paid you to teach something for 2 hours, you didn't have to go pick up a book. What would you teach? Just think about it. What is that thing that people are always coming to you for that you could talk about for hours that no one would have to give you any more education about it? I don't want you to drop it in chat because you're driving, but as you're thinking about that, what would that thing be? Or what's one or two things that would be for you, you know? Have you really thought about that?
And so that's the thing with me too. I'm retired now, so I have to think about this stuff heavily, and I'm working through that because I did like executive coaching, so that's more so of my lane. So
Oh,
that
good.
it's very translatable, but I just ain't sat down and really transition, or I don't know if I want to. I don't want to do that anymore. So this is good.
Oh, good. Good, good, good. Okay, good. So, you say you did executive coaching. That's like step two. It's like now when I think about what I'm really good at, how do I translate that into income? There are many ways you can do it. You can do it by consulting, coaching, training, speaking, advisory, lots of different ways you can actually translate that experience into something that people will actually pay for. You probably, like you say, you did coaching, like I do a lot of coaching as well. I do one-on-one group coaching, things like that. You can also do project-based, like consulting. Consulting is very lucrative, where you go in and you advise organizations or companies or nonprofit. But it's like, what do you go consult in? That's where most people get stuck. Like, how do I break that down, or what I'm actually going to consult in? Or what am I actually going to train in? Or do I want to be a speaker? How do I get paid to speak? How do I sit on boards, be an advisor? How do I do these particular things? So that part is you work yourself through. This is how I teach my client. You work yourself through, what am I really good at? Then how do I now um, translate that into um, and package that people will actually pay for? So there are two things you really have to do to translate that into income. One, you have to come up with what type of offer you want to actually do for people, companies, agencies, etc. But the main thing you have to do is create your framework. And so when I say framework, you have to create a framework or a process around exactly how you do something from A to Z. So if you think back to things you probably did in federal government or the military, think about something like process improvement. You have a process that you're going to take somebody through to get them the result or transformation. People only care about that outcome and that result and that transformation. So what you have to take your time to do is sit down and say, what exactly is my process? So I call it the napkin test. So when you think about your process, you think about, okay, I have 5 steps that I take someone through, or 4 steps, or 3 steps I take someone through, so they can get to the outcome or transformation that they actually need. So for me, when I have clients, the first thing I do is take them through a process where they unleash their brilliance. So I take them through that process. I give them a Clifton strength so I can assess and see where they are. Then I see what they're really good at. And then from that, I see what they have the best skills at. And then I see what the market needs. And then we combine that together and come up with the type of business that they should start. Does that make sense? And then I help them package their package their magic into something, into coaching or consulting. And so how do I help them do that? First, I help them figure out what is that unique value proposition you bring to the table? What's that thing you bring that nobody else can do? What's a combination of all the things you have done? A combination of everything you've had in your career. So what's your unique way of looking at it? What's your unique perspective of it? And then from that, we create the offer around what you're going to offer someone, what you could give someone a transformation from. And then we come up with their framework of how they do it. So that's how you package it. So you're ready to take it out to an agency. And so when an agency says to you, well, what do you offer me? That's when you go over your framework and they go, oh, that's how you're going to take me through the process? That's how you're going to get me the transformation that I need? You take them through your framework. And then your framework is what becomes your intellectual property. That's what you trademark. That's your IP. And so, and then the third step that I help someone launch is I help them figure out where their authority lives. Do your authority live in speaking? Do you need to write a book about it? Do you need to get in front of more people? What do you need to do to let people know that you have authority in this particular area? And then how do you let people know about what you do? Through social media, through speaking gigs, through podcasts, through reaching out to your network, all the things you do to let people know that what you have, and then you build that authority as you go along. And that is how, it's a lot to it, but those are the three main steps that I take someone through to say, hey, this is how you're going to take what you know and turn it into income. And then that income you can create, you just work backwards on the math to create exactly how much you want to make in that particular business. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense to you. But you have to create that type of framework with yourself. So I'll give you a quick example. So say you were thinking about working with a government contractor and you came to the table and you said, hey, I have 20 years in federal government as an HR provider, and I can help you. What I can do, transformation I can give you, or result I can give you, outcome, I can help you resolve complex employee relations. I've done that before, so I can really help you do that. So they go, well, great, because our problem is we're struggling with toxic work culture, workplace culture. We have leadership retention problems, and we have federal compliance gaps that we don't know how to fill. So then what you say is, what I could offer you is I can come in as an HR consultant and I can help you build your compliance, your retention systems through using my framework, and I'll charge you $5,000 a month as a retainer to come in and do that for you. Is that making sense? And so that is how every offer is born. It's like, what's my experience? What problem will I be solving for that company, agency, or person? And what can I offer them? That's the whole formula. People make business really complicated, but it's really that. What can I do really well? What is your problem that I can solve? And this is how I can solve it for you. And that's really how you turn your experience into income. You take that complex 20 years of, it might be 20 years of federal HR, air traffic controlling, where you learn compliance. It may be all sorts of things. And when you unleash your brilliance, it's a combination of what you become really good at. And that is what you use as your unique value proposition to solve their problem with an offer. I know it's kind of fast, but that's how you do it. So how does it get to your first revenue? Again, you identify your hidden expertise. What am I really good at? What can I do better than others? What do people always come to me for? How does the market say they need it? And then you translate that into an offer. For instance, it could be a coaching, consulting, offer. It could be a done for you offer. It could be a digital product. It could be many things that translate into an offer. And then you present that to whoever has the problem. Give them your value price, not what everybody else is charging. What the value of what you're bringing, and then that creates your income. But what happens is most people stop there. They stop where they're making the income, and then they don't go on and translate that income into ownership. Most people stop like, I'm just making money. I'm paying the bills. I'm getting it done. Um, I'm getting what I need, so I'm just going to stop right there. I'm not going to really translate it into, um, I'm not going to really translate it into, I was trying to turn my volume up because I realized this is a really low. Okay. And a lot of people stop there, but I want you to listen to, I work with Talisa, and I want you to listen to what she was able to do by me helping her do that. You can tell me if you can hear it.
When it comes to entrepreneurship, one of the biggest assets is the people that you are connected with. And Daisy has a specific skill set where she is able to identify two individuals that can benefit from each other's expertise. And that's exactly what she did for me. Daisy helped me to connect with the right individual who was managing the right community, and that community happened to need what my course was offering. And I was able to increase my sales by $50,000, $60,000. And I would not have been able to do that had it not been for Daisy. So if you are thinking about working with her, I'm telling you, don't think anymore. Daisy is the GOAT when it comes to helping you connect the dots, connect with the right people, and increase your sales in your business, which is really what we all want.
So that was me helping Talisa, being able to connect the dots, put her, figure out what she was really good at, figure out who really needed it, and figured out what type of offer she could offer to them. She was doing a lot of one-on-one coaching. She was doing a lot of one-on-one coaching, and I helped her go into a group model so she could move into that type of group model. But that's the first thing we do. But that's where most people stop. They stop right there, and they don't turn their income into ownership. They just live. They just live, and that's it. But what I want to share with you today, the important thing I want to share with you today is income creates cash, pay the bills, keep the lights on, but it stops when you do. When you stop working, your income stops. Ownership is what helps create wealth. Ownership works while you rest, it builds across generations, and it's the bridge to your freedom. There is four ways that people create wealth in their life. Nobody has done it without one of these or a combination of these things. And when I learned this, it was a light bulb moment. Four ways. So people either create wealth through real estate, whether it's rental, buying in real estate, REITs, whatever the case is, or partnership where they got equity in a business, a company. Think about SpaceX or something. People got equity in it before it went to be an IP. They were able to sit at what they call a cap table. Or you can be, first to help to invest in a business before it really take off, or an angel investor. So just having equity in something. And people create wealth through private lending, where they're either buying mortgage notes, they're lending their money out for a certain amount back, 12, 10% on their money, where they're lending it to people, or hard money loans that they're lending to people, or hedge fund, or etc. Or people create wealth through business acquisition, either buying or starting or creating business and the cash flow there. Why do people create wealth? One of these four ways or combination is because the entire economy is built on this and the entire tax code work on this. So the people who are just making income are just paying a lot of taxes. The people who are creating wealth are buying within one of these areas. And so here's a cute example that I really want you to kind of get. This happened for me, and I was like, oh my God. So what if your money worked as hard as you did? This right here is about hotel investing. So say you had $25,000 and you want to invest in a hotel. Most people don't even know they can invest in a hotel. They think, oh, the Hilton own that. I can't invest in a hotel. But actually, hotels are individually owned. So the only thing people are investing in is the brand itself, but the hotel themselves is individually owned. So if you did investment in hotels, and hotels are only kept 5 to 7 years, that's all owners, and then they turn over. If you put $25,000 in a hotel, and I wouldn't invest in a deal unless I was going to double my money. I was going to 2x my money. So after 5 years, that $25,000 has doubled to $50,000. You haven't done anything but leave it in there. Then you take that same $50,000 after 5 years and you reinvest it in a hotel, and now that has grown to $100,000. Now you're 10 years in. You take that same $100,000 and reinvest it, and in 15 years, your $25,000 have grown to $200,000 by you investing in that hotel. That is how compounding works, and that is how is a strategy to quickly grow your portfolio, even while you have money over here in TSP or here or there, wherever. If you made that $25,000 by what you did from additional income, or if you made that $25,000 from that you moved from a TSP, it doesn't matter. Your money can compound really fast. You can be doing this with one hotel, 2 hotels, it doesn't matter. You can be doing this in a multifamily, it doesn't matter. You could take a portion of your income and easily in 15 years, if you did this in 3 places, turn that into $600,000 in 15 years. So again, well, like I was saying, you can take a TSP loan, even if you're still active duty or active in the federal government. You can take a loan from yourself, put that $25,000 in there, 5 years, $50,000. Reinvest it 10 years, $100,000. Reinvest it 15 years, $200,000. You have 8x your return on your money. That's not speculation. How do I know? Because I invested in hotels, and I see others that are doing that as well. And so, tell me if this actually makes sense to you, because you can be doing it in more than one place.
Yes, this is really right up my alley, Daisy. Yes.
Right, yes. This is how you start to grow wealth, really grow wealth. Because just say you got, I don't know, $300,000 in your TSP, and you say, hey, I want to do this I'm going to invest $25,000 in a hotel, and I'm going to run this play. I'm going to invest $25,000 in multifamily, and I'm going to run this play. Don't get me wrong, you have to make sure you invested with the right people and vetted the right deals and all of that. But that is how easily you can increase your money without just leaving it on the TSP for it to go up and down in the market, for somebody else to manage your wealth, for somebody else to tell you what to do with it, to get 4% maybe from it when you retire. You can take charge of it and say, this is how I want to run my money in this game. You can do it many different ways, and there's so many things that we teach inside of my community about how you can do it with mortgage note lending, how you can do it by you being a private money lender yourself to lend in other people's deals. There's so many ways that you can do it. You design your own wealth strategy. And that's what you want to do. And this just says right here, like, you don't even have to take your money out of savings if you don't want to. The whole thing is take what you already have skills in and create income from it. And then take that income and invest it into your wealth. You know what I'm saying? You could do a consulting offer. You could do that coaching offer you're talking about. You can charge, if you're doing executive coaching, there's nothing to charge $3,500 for somebody to get coaching from you. You can take that same thing and in 3 months have $9,000 from it. $20,000 in 6 months, invest that into the deal. And then start having that passive income come back to you where you can reinvest, or you can use it if you had to, but you would never be without income coming in. You'll have more than one income source coming in. And so that's the whole idea of taking income, feeding it into your ownership, where it feeds into where you have your own freedom. That's sort of the sequence of it. Don't just make money just to make money. Make the money work for you. And again, this is why I say this is some of the ways that the women in my circle and what I'm doing, building wealth. We use real estate a lot. So the vehicle that we're using a lot is real estate, but we also talk about private lending. I had someone come in and talk about mortgage note lending, how you buy those, how you become a private money lender yourself. To Lisa, the girl you just seen on the video, she raised private money capital and used all of that to pay for her deals. So she don't even use any of her money. She used other people's money, buy the deals, and it grows equity for her and her family, if that makes sense. And so these are the different ways that you can put these different ways of building wealth together, so you increase the wealth for yourself and your family. You decide what path I want to be in. How do I use the money I already have? How do I use the strategy to leverage? How do I build wealth? Once I do it, I could teach it to someone else. And I make more income doing it, that way. So that is the game in all of this. So you probably don't have, I'm going to tell you what I did. You probably, and you can have this QR code when you get a chance. Tell me if you see this say 5 moves. Okay. So this is what I did. Blew my mind once I realized I did it. So I told you I had a dare. A friend of mine gave me a dare, and I bought the first deal. So I took my money from my TSP. I took a loan for myself. I was still on active working for the government. I took a loan and I went down in Gulfport, Mississippi, I bought a townhouse. And I was like, okay, I'll get this $200 a month, $2,400 a year. It's good. It's cash flow. I'll do vacations with it. So the first thing I learned was, why don't you have paid for that townhouse? Why don't you get a home equity line of credit from that, and which you can get 75% of what it's worth, and why don't you buy your next deals? So I took the home equity line of credit from that townhouse and I recycled it, and I bought my next 2 properties, my next down payments for my next 2 properties. And then now I had 3 properties. And so I was like, oh, wow, this is cool. So I decided, my husband and I decided at the moment we was going to put everything we make from rental back into the business. So from those 3 properties that were going on, mind you, the loan that I took to get these 2 properties, the two properties, the renters in the properties are paying the loan back, not me. Right? So now I got three properties. So then everything I'm growing in the business, I'm taking that every time I get enough back in cash flow, and I bought property 4, property 5, property 6. So I just kept going, right? And then I got fancy. I got fancy. And then I said, oh my God, I went to Ghana and I met this lady in Ghana. And this was right before COVID, 2019. And she was like, you ever invest in hotels? I was like, no, you could do that. And she told me how. She gave me a couple names. It was 2020. Nobody was doing nothing. I joined this mastermind. $1,000, kid you not. It was a girl first mastermind, and now she is the youngest black hotel owner it is. I joined her mastermind, and I invested in a hotel for the first time, and I was like, oh my God, now I invest in a hotel. Come to find out, this same girl started her own commercial real estate crowdfunding platform. And because I was in the room, I was able to invest in it first while it was, while it was just starting before it scaled. So then I got equity in her company. And so that was like the fifth thing I did. And I was like, wow, this real estate game is getting interesting. So then I went on and we looked at tax liens and state properties and etc. And I was like, this is cool. So my husband and I, what we learned how to do is buy properties low, renovate properties, then learn how to take the HELOC on the ones we wanted to. So it was one that we had a lot of equity in. We took a HELOC from it. We bought this property literally from the state for literally like $1,000. Put 20 or 30,000 in it, and then we sold that to a couple that couldn't qualify for a loan, and we became the bank. We did seller finance. So now, from a property that just like that, we became seller financing. And I was like, oh my God, this is really cool. And it got more interesting. So now we were at like 14 doors. And we were like, this is interesting. So now the company is making money. Everything that we have a loan on, the tenants are paying off. And we're just growing our equity in the companies. And so now we have all this equity in all of our rental properties. And we got introduced to another mastermind where they were doing multifamily. And we were like, this is cool. So then we got the opportunity to invest in multifamily. And then we had the opportunity to invest in a fund. So the next thing for us was create your own, syndications that you want to do. Or eventually own your own hotels. And that's how we ended up in 3 years going from 0 to $1 million. It's just that once you open one door, you learn how to navigate in that door. If you stay in the room, it's going to automatically unlock the next door. And then you can be like, oh, I know more. Oh, I know how to use that strategy better. Oh, I know how to do that a little different. And then you decide now which way you want to move your money and go and invest it. One investment, one loan. And that is how one loan from my TSP that I paid back $2,100 interest back to myself, back in my TSP. One paying it to no bank, back to me. That is how I went in 3 years, 0 to $1 million in real estate investment, and we're still growing. And we were able to expand and move out further. That's when I really realized and unlocked, TSP could be way more than what the government ever thought you could just do with it or stay with it. So now I take the funds that I make from my business, because I teach others how to do it, and I use that to invest. Is that kind of making sense?
Absolutely. It's like the ultimate snowball effect, but with compound interest with you, like you said, that key opening one door and then wow. Yeah. Because I'm so glad I tuned in today. It's perfect.
Oh, good, good, good.
Yeah.
And normally we do have people on here. I think I had about 10 people signed up, so I don't know if what
Hey, the,
happened.
the universe, hey, it wanted you to see me. Yeah. I'm like, hey, I'm here. I'm back, baby. I'm back.
So what do you do now that you got income and you have in ownership? Now, how do you create legacy with this? Now it's like, okay, I, I got income coming in more than one way, and we typically do. We typically, and I'll just say for me, we typically do. I have federal retirement, military retirement, VA. We typically have different monies that are coming in. So then you create other income stream by your expertise, and you like, I got these income stream. Now I'm gonna step into ownership. Now, once I have ownership, now how do I create a legacy with it? How do I actually create a legacy so I can pass it on to my kids? So once you have your portfolio of ownership and you like, this is what I'm gonna do with this. Now I want to know how much time freedom do I want? This is creating it for me. How much equity do I want? How do I want this to look in 5 years? How do I want this to look in 10 years? What do I really want to pass on to my kids? What type of lifestyle do I really need now? That's when you start creating your family wealth plan. That's when you start putting in places your trust and your deeds and how you structure this and what it looks like and how you grow it. And there's a lot of people bring in different type. I don't know if you've heard of different type of insurance at this point where you can grow equity in the insurance itself. That's a whole nother playbook on insurance where you can actually grow your money and borrow from your insurance, buy your properties, pay your insurance back, borrow from your insurance again, buy your properties, pay your insurance back. People do it all the time. It's a crazy type of insurance that's sold that they do that with. But you decide now you do a family wealth plan, and you have to have you have to have a team to help you with your assets. And so that is what you do once you have gotten the ownership you want. You create a team around you, and that team help you continue to build wealth. And so I know that this don't pertain to you. Why a lot of federal women don't do it? I'm busy. I don't know where to start. I don't want the rules, because we're always told play it safe. Don't do that while you're in the government. Blah blah blah. While they're doing it, or I don't know how to market myself. But that's some of the stuff we teach in there. So this is what I have. I have created something called the Wealth Circle. It's a curated room. It's not a Facebook group. It's not a course. It's a community where federal and military women are in there building wealth together. That's what it is in a nutshell. And it's about people who are ready to actually do it. Everything we have in there, we have monthly sessions, we have curated conversation, we have a mindset coach in there because we get snagged up on all that stuff we don't believe. I have a federal coach in there a finance coach in there who makes sure your finances are where they need to be. And then we bring in only people who are doing good deals that we trust, that are vetted. And then you can decide after you create your own wealth plan, which is what we help you do. You can decide what you want to invest in, what you don't want to invest in. And then the biggest thing, honestly, is in there is the collaboration. We have people from GS, 12, 13, 14, SES, on and on that's in the room. So right now we have 20 ladies in there. They're our founding cohort, and we're growing. So this is what happens. Like I said, once you get inside the wealth room, you can take your income, however it's coming in. You can understand how to create your ownership vehicle. What do you want to do? We have people that come in. We have experts that come in. That we've had someone come in and talk about mortgage note lending. We've had someone come in and talk about farmland and USDA and what that looks like. We've had someone come and talk about creative financing. We've had someone already come in and talk about co-living, how to create co-living. We have someone coming in next month that's going to be talking about hotel investing. The person, yeah, we have all that coming in. We have someone coming in next month that's going to be talking about REITs. And you get to ask your questions. You get to decide how much you want to work with those particular people, if you want to work with them and how you want to work with them, or what deals you want to invest in. We also have an advisory person that's going to be advising the group on deals. And so you create your plan, and then you connect with the women who are in there. Eventually, when we grow big enough, the price is going to go way up. And when we grow big enough, we'll have pods, and those pods will actually work together in small parts. And so what I do with people when they first come in, and I do it with AI, is I help them. Well, this is right before this. This is what's in there. This is what's in there. We do the monthly session. It's curated. You can always go back and look at anything you missed. You can always work with the finance or mindset coach. These are two coaches that are in there. You can always network. So what I do now, these are bonuses. I do a private session with everybody, and we map out with AI what their wealth strategy is. And then we tell them, hey, this is what probably your first 3 moves. We also give you a way to evaluate deals yourself. It'll be inside of the wealth circle. And then you'll have your 90-day action plan, what you want to do in the first 90 days. And so it's really like doing it with a team. And so this is, do you remember De'Ara? Okay, De'Ara's in there. So I did an interview with her. And she worked in finance when we were at Columbus. And the most impactful thing to De'Ara, her and I did a whole YouTube interview about it, is she didn't understand how to use her TSP. And when she figured that out, like, she lost it. So she lost it. So she's on, and her and our family are actually doing a multifamily together at this point. And so these are just some other ladies that are in there. Shayla's in there, and she talks about, it's been really good visualizing her plan. She's able to come up with a roadmap. It's becoming clearer and clearer. Christina just retired from VA. There's so much money out there to be made, things I've never heard of before, and it's literally blowing my mind. This has been extraordinary. This is, it captured my thought this evening. And the women in there are just realizing that they can take control of their own wealth, that they can do it their way and take control of their own wealth. And this is just some of the things of why people might have questions of why they don't join. They think they're not ready. They think they need the money right now. You really don't. You come in, grasp what you can, take what you want, create your own wealth plan, and then decide how and when you're going to move. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to force anybody to spend any money. I really created this circle because it's what I needed. So it's really just like that. So this is what it is. If you think about one of the slot. It is $4.97 for 6 months or $7.97 for a year. You can stay in 6 months or a year and say, I like it, I don't like it. It didn't give me what I wanted to do, but I promise you it will give you what you want. Um, if not, the people inside of the wealth circle will help you get what you need. We have people in there who are multifamily owners. We have senior. I don't know if you are into senior facilities. We have a lady in there that owns a bunch of senior facilities. So you can have these conversations, make these relationships with the people that are in this room, and they will also help you go way further than you could go by yourself. And then next year, we're going to add where we're going to do an investing trip to Panama. We're going to go as a group to Panama to an investing trip. It's just really about getting in the proximity of the rooms so you're able to do it. So that's the presentation. And it could be something that you can decide to do now, later, think about. It doesn't matter, but I think the room will be a good experience.
What you think I'm gonna say?
I don't know.
You know I want in. You know I want in. That's why I said the universe is universing, darling. This is right on time because I'm at that phase where I want to get creative and make money while I'm sleeping on top of what I'm already making money while I'm sleeping, because now it's the legacy piece that is really, because I'm okay, but it's like I hit the lottery being where I am in this phase of life right now, but I can't extend it to other people like that. Like I have the time freedom, the flexibility, but that doesn't mean I can take more vacations or do more. Like so now this is perfect, and I'm willing to invest to be in the mastermind circle, because that exposure and that proximity to creative thinkers is what's going to separate me from the pack.
I think so. I think so. And Christina, just one of the ladies, I want you to meet her, that's in there. She just retired from the VA, and she's like, I'm ready to travel. I want to say she has a daughter, maybe 12 or 13, I think 15, that she's trying to,
Yeah,
that was her whole reason
yeah,
of, yeah, I want to be in here and I want to do this. Yeah. So,
yeah, because that's exactly, I'm like in the hotels and all those things. 'Cause I want to be able to visit the hotels. I want to be able to, you know, that's the kind of flex that I'm on.
and when you're in there, when the speakers are that all the expert speakers, you can ask any questions you want. Of course, you got a couple of white girls in there. They ask a lot of questions, but you
Yeah,
can ask any questions you want
yeah,
of the people that are coming in. All of them leave their contact information. All of them
okay,
say you can contact them and talk to them more. You know what I mean? So, and I don't know every speaker because my finance coach bring in some speakers, but I pretty much know all of them. And I can tell you we're expanding. We're expanding. It's a
okay.
lot in there already, and we're expanding.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I trust you. I bet, I'm like, Daisy, you doing something? Wait a minute. Like, oh no. I was like, I gotta tap in. Oh, absolutely. You always been on it. You always been a leader, and like always, thinking like, you know what, not staying stuck. You are never comfortable staying where you are. You always thinking expansion. So I'm like, no, whatever you're doing, I want to be around. So because
All
you helped change,
right.
my life, like the SARC program, all of that, that was monumental for me. It helped me be comfortable in my own skin and be okay with just being vulnerable and changing the mess into a message. So like it only makes sense for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we would love to have you. We can bring you in, and like I said, the next speaker, I think she's doing Reese, and then you'll meet Davon, who is she's doing hotels. She is the
Okay.
queen of hotels. She's the
Okay.
youngest African American female hotel owner, and she's also my friend. But
Okay.
she's very sweet and honest, and she'll tell you anything you want to know. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
lovely. This
She
is
also
perfect.
has deals on her crowdfunding platform that she runs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I am ready, and this like my brother and I have been talking about hotels, and for this to pop up, and I had no clue you were going to be talking about hotels, and so for you to say that, I'm like, oh, I'm in the right spot. This is not an accident. So yeah,
Good, good, good.
yeah,
All right.
good.
So can you scan that, or you want me to send you like a link or
You
something?
send me the link, and then I'll just do it
Okay.
because I'm on my phone, so
Okay.
I can't take a picture of it.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I will
I
do
have your
all of
e-
that.
I have your email, don't I? I'll send it by email.
Okay, yeah, this is great.
Oh, I'll tell you what I do. Let me put it in the chat too. I'll put the link in the chat. Oh,
Yeah,
good. Oh, good. I know some people they like one person they wouldn't do the webinar. Yeah, I want to do it with one person.
and
Yeah.
and And that's the thing, because I was just listening to something earlier, and it was like, wealthy people, they will you know, they spend money on things that they know they spend higher on things that they know they're gonna have a return on investment. And this right here, this is an investment for me. So I'm like, so even looking at the money, I'm like, oh, but even still, I'm like, no, the money that I'll get back in return, I'm like, no, this is exactly what I'm
I
talking
think
about.
so. I think
Yeah,
so. And if you do a year, I mean, you save if you go for a year,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So, yeah.
And I
And
don't
the
see myself
prices,
going anywhere.
honestly, as we grow, by the time we get to like 100 members, oh, they're not
Yep,
paying this.
I know. I already know. So I'm like, yep, yeah, I already know. Trust and believe. So that's why I'm like, yes, give me that link and I'm already ready. Like it's like what they say in that movie, when can I start? That's it. That's it. Okay. When can
Oh,
I start?
I'm
Mhm.
happy to have you. You're gonna like it.
Mhm.
You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. And like I said,
Mhm.
um, and I think it's in April. It may be May, April, whatever. We're planning an investor trip. We're gonna, it'll be the first time we all kind of sort of meet in person, and it'll be real cool.
Perfect.
It'll be real cool.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like, I'm on board. So all of these things are right up my alley. And I'm just so happy I tapped in because that's what they do. The universe put it in your path and you pray about something. And it's like, no, it's on you to actually take the action. Like, this is it. This is what I prayed for.
That's so
So,
cool. And I would say De'Ara
mhm.
said the same exact thing. She was like, "Oh my God, I was just trying to
Yeah,
figure this out."
yeah, it's like, this is wild to me. It's so, yeah, yeah,
Well, good, because I
good,
wasn't
good.
gonna even do this offer, and people
See,
were like,
I'm
"No,
so glad. That's what I'm saying.
people want to tap into your journey and what you did," and I
Yeah.
was like, "Okay, that's fine." Yeah, it
Mhm.
was a
That's what
time I
I'm
wasn't
saying.
gonna do it.
That's
Good.
what I said. The universe said, no, I got something for you. And look at it, just me. That's what I said, yo, I'm not making this up. Like, what is happening? Yes. So in my mind, yeah, it's already done.
Yay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yay.
Yep. So
Well,
what's the next step?
so soon as you tap that link and soon as you pay or whatever, I'll send you your onboarding email and
Okay.
then put you in the WhatsApp and then put you inside of the community. And then you can
Okay.
start looking at a bunch of the stuff that's already in there. And then in August, I tell you, we have those sessions already planned. We have someone coming in for REITs, and then we have hotel investing in August.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
with it. So
All right.
I'll
I
be
will
on it.
email you. I will email it to you as soon as we get off here. Okay, I'll send you the
Okay.
link.
Sounds good. It's so good to see you too,
Good to
Daisy.
see you too. Good to see you too. I'm
Yeah.
glad you came.
Okay.
Happy to have you. All
Yeah,
right.
me too.
All right. All right.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
yes. Okay. Bye.
Bye.